Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are
Hopefully Awesome.
That's right, a positive place on the internet where we nerd out about all the geeky things we love. And, of course, this week's geeky things include Shawn, Levy, Avatar 4 and 5, Indiana Jones, and, of course, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That's right, everybody. Because this is the Hopefully Awesome Show, our weekly podcast where we catch up on all the things that has happened in the nerd world over the past week, and we just kind of hang out and talk to each other. It's pretty fun. Maggie, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
I'm good.
We got a big old TV behind us.
We do have a big old TV behind us. If you want to hear more about the big old TV behind us, check out Hopefully Awesome Weekly over at patreon.com/hopefullyawesome. But enough of that. Let's get into the news. It's time for the news! All right, everybody. Welcome to the news. Our first story today, unfortunately, is not a happy one. Kevin Conroy has passed away. This we're going to take from IGN. Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman in the 1990s animated series, the Arkham series of video games, and more, has died at age 66. Announced on Facebook by animated series co-star Diane Pershing, who played Poison Ivy, and confirmed by Warner Brothers Discovery, Conroy died on November 10th following a short battle with cancer. He's been ill for a while, but he really put in a lot of time at the cons, to the joy of all of his fans, said Pershing in the post. He will be sorely missed, not just by the cast of the series, but by his legion of fans all over the world. Other co-stars shared their love for Conroy in a Warner Brothers Discovery press release, with Mark Hamill, who played the Joker in several productions, saying simply that Kevin was perfection. He was one of my favorite people on the planet, and I loved him like a brother. He truly cared for the people around him. His decency shone through everything he did. Every time I saw him or spoke with him, my spirits were elevated. Via The Verge, Batman actor Kevin Conroy's story for DC's Pride anthology is available for free. Kevin Conroy was featured in DC's Pride anthology, panning a story about how the role of Batman helped him come to terms with his struggles as a gay man. In a poignant and gut-wrenching story that DC has made available to read for free online in the wake of Conroy's passing. It is available on DC Universe Infinite. So, yeah, that sucks. Maggie, do you want to start us off? Do you want me to start us off?
Just talking about.
Yeah, I mean, just
okay.
I know you are as a precursor. You're a huge Batman the Animated Series fan. You're a huge Batman fan in general.
Yeah.
But I know Kevin Conroy was your Batman.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Probably. I guess I don't know. I can't remember. What did it say? 94.
92.
92. Oh.
And it just says 90s.
Yeah.
1990s. Probably 94.
Yeah. My brother and I would, if he realized it was going on, Batman the Animated Series, he'd always get me, and we'd sit down and watch it together.
Yeah.
And his voice, Kevin Conroy's voice, is who I hear as Batman when I read the comics.
Yeah.
It's not anybody else. It's not Christian Bale. It's not nobody. It's Kevin Conroy's voice. I can hear it in my brain. And, just knowing, and then later in life, finding out Mark Hamill was the Joker.
Yeah.
And finding all these pictures of them together and how big of friends they were in real life was pretty cool. And reading that comic that's on DC Infinite right now is heartbreaking.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to read it. I meant to read it before we started, but I just...
It was heartbreaking because, people were calling him names.
Yeah.
And stuff, and lots of personal things happened to him while he was, I think he was up to be in a show as a showrunner and stuff.
Yeah.
And he showed up at a bar one night, and somebody just drunk off the rocker called him a certain word, and that caused the guy that was, in talks with him to make this show. He said, "Oh, we decided to go with somebody else." Because they found out that he was gay, and they didn't like that. And also Kevin Conroy was helping to take care of his brother. His brother had a lot of mental issues, apparently, and their dad left Kevin the house, and his brother loved living there. But when he went off of his medicine, he had to take him back to an institute. And I think in the midst of all that happening, he said it just felt like something inside of me, started to come out. And he said, and this gruff voice comes out of me. And just all the pain and stuff. He said, I found Batman.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's going to make me cry.
It was good.
It sounds awesome.
But the comic's worth reading. I myself did not know that Kevin Conroy was gay. I did not know.
I'll be honest, I didn't know it either.
He has a husband.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I looked into it because I was like, I did not know this. But it's, God. Yeah. But I mean,
because we're just losing Batman. I mean, he's losing his
loved one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His husband, his best friend, probably,
And, yeah. And, Kevin Conroy even got to, be Batman in the Flashpoint series.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Not the version we wanted.
Not Flashpoint. It was Crisis on
Crisis.
Infinite Earths
Okay, yeah.
crossover.
I couldn't remember.
No, you're fine. I think it was the Flash episode of that. So, no, I mean, he was great.
Yeah.
It's just his version, like that they wrote him to play was like a bad Batman. I mean, it was really cool to see him in live action Batman, obviously. But yeah, it was just, man.
And then when Batman Beyond started and he's old Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Oh yeah. That honestly, I watched the Batman the Animated Series sparingly. I honestly didn't watch it too much. Because I was in this place of like, cartoons aren't supposed to be serious, blah, blah, because I was like 10, right? I was like, where's the Power Rangers at?
Yeah.
And actually I would have been younger because I would have been 10 in 97, so even younger than that.
Yeah.
But when Superman the Animated Series came out on Kids WB, I was super into that.
Yeah.
Like Tim Daly to this day is how I hear Superman, right?
Yeah.
And then after, I think it was the first season when they come back, they do the crossover of World's Finest where Batman returns. And it's Kevin Conroy, and it is continuing his story from the animated series.
Yeah.
And then they start doing the Batman Superman Power Hour. And then that kind of made me go back and watch those and realize like, oh shit, this is phenomenal. Great. Yeah. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Huge props to them. But at that point, the same exact thing happened. I mean, that is who I hear. Like Batman is Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
He is our Batman. You know. And then when Batman Beyond came out, I was like, what is this?
I was like, is this like those action figures they have at Batman that I hate?
Because they didn't advertise.
Batman doesn't carry around missiles on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Like,
he doesn't fly.
Yeah, he doesn't fly. What is this?
Why does his mouth look weird?
Why is he so skinny?
And why is he red? Like, Batman's got is gray or yellow? Come
on. Does he look like when he talks? It looks like he's going to bite you any
like
second.
A vampire.
Yeah.
And then I watched it and was like, oh shit, this is fantastic. I love Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Of course, Terry McGinnis. It's Eric from Boy Meets World, but I can't think of his actual name.
I can't think of his name either.
But he's also phenomenal. And so anyway, just, Kevin Conroy, it was like anytime they could get him back as Batman, they got him back as Batman.
Oh, yeah.
And in different, the DC animated movies that they did. Yes. Of course, Justice League, that whole run. Yes. And the Arkham games. Yeah. Like he was even in those.
Well, wasn't it? I thought maybe it was Mark Hamill or one of the, at first they didn't want to do it. I can't remember. It seemed like one of the Arkham series.
Oh, I can't remember. Sure.
I can't remember, or else I'm remembering something entirely different.
Maybe I can see that from where it was a different.
And take. Also, they did that one based off the comic book we saw in the movie theaters.
Oh, The Killing Joke.
Yeah, and they got them back together. Yeah. But I know also we have.
I mean,
mixed feelings.
The part like the actual comic part, is done like the comic. Yeah. It's the whole first part of it where Babs and Bruce get down. Like
Babs wouldn't do that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That was, even though I think that was a plot point in Batman Beyond, was like that she didn't leave with Dick because she wanted to stay with Bruce.
Yeah.
Because there was maybe feelings there or something. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Batman the Animated Series. But no, Kevin Conroy, of course, is and always will be our Batman.
Yeah.
And it really sucks that he's gone. But I will say that just over on Twitter, it's been so lively and full of hope of people just sharing their favorite memories, the favorite things that they watched, that they experienced, different stories from cons. There was one story that I retweeted. It was a video. He was doing an interview, and he was at a like a soup kitchen after 9/11 happened. And, you know, I mean, he was in New York. Or Brooklyn, I think, specifically. But, like, he was in the back just making soup and stuff. And somebody asked him, hey, you know, like, what's your day job when you're not doing this? And he's like, oh, well, I'm a voice actor. And he went, I knew it. You're Batman, aren't you? And he was like, yeah. He's like, do the thing. He's like, I am Batman. And he was like, holy shit. Right? And so he goes out and where everybody's eating and says, hey, guys, did you know that Batman has been making your food? And they're like, bullshit. And so he's like, yeah, come on out. And so Kevin Conroy walks out and it's just dead silence, right? And then one guy in the back goes, that's not Batman.
That's not Batman.
And then he goes, I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman, right? And the whole place just erupted with applause and happiness. And like that, you know, everybody had obviously been so down and dire, you know, and that he, you know, as Batman, could bring hope to people, you know. I mean, and he never lost that. Like, he always knew just how special that was, you know.
Mark Hamill posted a bunch of pictures on Instagram and probably Twitter too, but on Instagram you could put more pictures. But he put up a bunch of pictures of them two together when they first started out and that's everything awesome. Throughout the years at cons and stuff. And he said, he's like, I know what we want to be sad because he's gone, but he said Kevin wouldn't want it that way. He said, I'm just looking through the pictures to remember all the fun moments we had together.
That's awesome. Will Friedle.
Yeah,
that was his name.
There you go.
Sorry, it just like it came to me right in the middle of you talking, and I was like, I'm not gonna blurt this out right in the middle of you telling us. But yeah, Kevin Conroy was awesome. Obviously, he will be missed, but he will always be Batman. No matter what. Yeah. And hey, shout out to Implicitly Pretentious for our background footage that we used today. So yeah, all that being said, let's go to our next story.
Okay.
Our next story, via Deadline, Shawn Levy in talks to direct a Star Wars film after Deadpool 3 and Stranger Things final episodes. This comes at did I say via Deadline?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. This comes at a prolific moment for Levy. He is in post-production on the limited series, All the Light We Cannot See, for which Levy directed all 4 episodes. That series is for Netflix, where he also will direct the last 2 episodes of the 5th and final season of Stranger Things, which Levy also EPs through his 21 Labs banner. The Deadpool 3 deal comes after Levy teamed with Reynolds on The Adam Project for Netflix. Star Wars will be his 3rd recent big film at Disney, where he also directed Reynolds in Free Guy, with a sequel being discussed. Levy is back in franchises after starting there with the Night at the Museum films. So he directed those also.
Oh my God.
This film lines up among several spearheaded by A-list directors that Lucasfilm is developing. Others include a film from Taika Waititi, Rogue Squadron from Patty Jenkins, and another from Damon Lindelof, which Deadline recently reported would be directed by Sharmeen Abed Shinoy. Yeah. So, Shawn Levy making a Star Wars film, everybody. I gotta say, I'm pretty stoked for that. Mm-hmm. I love Shawn Levy. And honestly, I didn't even realize I love Shawn Levy until I realized I love Shawn Levy.
Well, he started realizing everything that he's done, and you're like, he's like, I love him.
He's been in my life since childhood, you know? Like, he directed episodes of Alex Mack. And I think he did a couple of Are You Afraid of the Darks? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing that and just being like, holy shit, this dude's been in my life from the beginning. Like, this is insane. But I think it was, when did I first realize? I think it was The Adam Project. that I looked into him because I realized he also did Free Guy.
Yeah.
And then I just
Deadpool.
started going down the list and was like, holy shit. He's doing, well, I don't think he did the last Deadpool.
Okay.
Like Deadpool 3 is his first.
Oh, okay. I thought he had done it. My bad.
I don't think so. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, it's insane. He's great. I love the Adam Project. Severely underrated. Like it is so good.
It's very good.
I was shocked. It was one of those things where I was like, this could go either way. It could either be another one of those. What was the Michael Bay movie that he did with Ryan Reynolds for Netflix that we watched 12 minutes of and was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But like, because those Netflix movies, they're sometimes they're hit or miss. And it feels like more times than not they're misses.
Yeah.
Except for horror. They do horror really good. The Fear Street trilogy was fantastic.
Definitely.
But I mean, getting another Star Wars movie in the works, I like where their head is at.
Yeah.
And I like that none of these are labeled episode 10. Right?
Yes, thank God.
That they're all just kind of
leave it alone. Let it sleep.
You think?
Let it sleep.
Let it sleep.
Let it sleep.
Until it can be awoken. The Force
like
awakens.
50 years later, Matt.
Do you think... I think I bring this up every time we talk about Star Wars, but do you think they should just cut and remove episode 7, 8, and 9?
Why?
What do you mean, why? What do you mean? Have you seen 8 and 9? Like, have you seen what happened to the
7,
universe?
Don't cut out 7 though. 7 was fun.
I feel like the only way they could get rid of... I agree. I love 7. But I feel like the only way you could get rid of 9 and 8 would be you'd have to take this whole thing and just call it something else, like a Legends story.
Okay.
I mean, because don't get me wrong, there is a way they could fix it, and nobody wants this. They can introduce time travel, and it affects everything one way or the other.
No.
Because, like, here's the thing. Best thing Star Wars has going for it right now, we all know this, is Dave Filoni. It's the Mandalorian. It's everything tied into the Mandalorian universe, right? That is the best thing that they've got going. And it just sucks that all of that has to lead into what we already know comes, right? Yeah. Because, listen, Star Wars is weird, okay? Like, I don't hate 7, 8, and 9. When we watched 9, I thought it was enjoyable while watching it. It was only in retrospect that I realized that there was a lot of issues there. And 8, had it been its own movie, I think, not part of a trilogy, I think it would have been a lot better of a film.
Yeah.
If it was like another Star Wars story, right? And I mean, you could have everybody in it still. I don't even care. But I think like what tied it down was that it was trying to take Star Wars in a completely different direction. And then all the fans were like, no. And then Disney was like, oh, no, we got to put this ship back on track.
Yeah.
And then they were like, JJ, come in and fix it. And they were like, okay, well, Snoke wasn't really a thing, and somehow the Emperor has returned. And it's like fucking bullshit.
It's clones of the Emperor.
It's like in the scroll. The scroll? Is that even the word?
Something like that.
Where it scrolls up the screen? The crawl, maybe.
The crawl. It's the crawl.
The Emperor's back. It's like, really? Really? Like, that's how we're going to just do that? Is like, I don't know. And like, of course, what they did with Finn was tragic. He deserved better. I actually like Rey. I don't hate the Rey Skywalker stuff. I like the Kylo Ren stuff. Even though it feels, it's just all uneven because there was no inherent through line through them. Like, that's the problem. It's like 7 set up something and then Jedi broke it down, which is okay. But then they went back to 7 to try and fix it. And it's like, to be a trilogy, it just didn't work. I don't know if you can, I don't know. It would be huge for them to do this. Like, for them to just wipe that clean.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen.
But they've done it with every other thing they've done it with. Like, anything outside of the core movies, they have always just been like, that's extended universe stuff. It doesn't matter. And so, I mean, if they did make the play to say 7, 8, and 9 is just Tales from Star Wars.
Tales from the Crypt.
Basically. It would be wild. I could see them doing it.
Yeah.
But, because it's just that The Mandalorian is 30 years before 7. And, like, the fact that they have to be so weighed down in their storytelling to have to match up with something that a lot of people agree was at the very least not great.
Yeah.
As a whole. Like, that's the only part that sucks. Yeah. So anyway, all that to say, I'm excited to see what Shawn Levy does. I mean, we got 4 films in the works, and it feels like, right? 4. Let's see, Taika Waititi, Patty Jenkins, Damon Lindelof, and Shawn Levy. So I mean, I'm excited for 3 of them. Yeah, for sure.
I know the one you're not excited about.
Look. 84 just wasn't great. Okay. Now, whose fault was that? I don't know. I don't know whose fault it was. I'm willing to blame everyone until we find out.
I know who to blame. I know Zaslav. It's Zaslav's fault.
He wasn't even there.
Nope, it's his fault. He's crapping on everything, so it's his fault.
Speaking of being someone's fault,
I'm working on it.
You're fine. We're gonna get this worked out soon, and I think this one's shorter, so you might have to.
I might keep it on this.
Yeah. So speaking of being someone's fault, via Dexerto, I think that's how you say it, Avatar 4 and 5 may be canceled if Way of Water flops, James Cameron warns. He warns us. The market could be telling us we're done in 3 months, or we might be semi-done, meaning, okay, let's complete the story within movie 3 and not go on endlessly if it's just not profitable, he told Total Film. Quote, we're in a different world now than we were when I wrote this stuff, even. It's the 1-2 punch of the pandemic and streaming, both equally terrible in Cameron's eyes, right? Or conversely, maybe we'll remind people what going to the theater is all about. This film definitely does that. The question is, how many people give a shit now?
God, man.
Cameron has been candid about the Avatar 2 box office prospects before. Speaking to Entertainment Weekly, he said, the big issue is, are we going to make any damn money? Big, expensive films have got to make a lot of money. We're in a new world, post-COVID, post-streaming. Maybe those numbers will never be seen again. Who knows? It's a big roll of the dice. End quote.
Well, don't make such freaking expensive films, dummy.
I mean, all right, show of hands. Who's excited for Avatar Way of the Water?
I'm not.
Okay,
I enjoyed the first one.
Okay.
First one was good. I didn't get to watch it in theaters. But my mom and dad went and watched it, and that's all they ranted and raved on for like months.
Wait, you didn't see Avatar in theaters?
No, man. I was like, when did it come out?
You didn't see it in 3D?
No.
It came out in 2009.
Yeah, no. I was in college and working, so no, I did not have time to go watch that stuff. And also, it's like, oh, there's blue people. I was a dumb teenager, okay?
Maggie.
And then mom and dad bought it when it came out.
You didn't see it in 3D. It was an experience.
I'm so sorry we did not cross paths earlier, Matthew.
We should have, because I'm just saying, of all the 3D films in existence, Avatar was probably the one that nailed it the most.
Okay.
All right. And it wasn't gimmicky. Now, I'm going to call some shade on James Cameron here, though. He had a few tricks that was a little misleading, okay? So, you see these bars here?
Oh.
You see these bars here?
Yeah.
So, he would have the characters, if they were riding on a horse, their feet would actually go over the bars.
Oh.
Yeah. And, so it wasn't actually in, it was in 3D because it was in 3D, but,
yeah,
that was to add to it. But, so it's just trickery. What are you looking at?
I'm trying to keep, who commented on this trailer? It's so sad.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Restart it.
I am.
Do you want to read that comment?
The top comment that's shown up right here, it says, rest in peace to all the Avatar fans who didn't live long enough to see this day. Sad face.
I mean, it has been.
Yeah.
13 years?
Yeah.
There were kids who went and watched it.
Yeah.
That were 8.
Yeah.
That will be drunk on opening night. Okay. The way that we felt when Jurassic World came out, is the way they're going to feel about this.
Yeah.
Isn't that shocking?
Yeah. Oh, well, not as much time passed, but like the the Minions movie kids.
Yeah.
How much time
Minions
passed?
2 versus the first Despicable Me. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So anyway, enough about the 3D. Avatar, I really enjoyed the first Avatar. And I've learned one thing in all my years on this earth, okay? Oh, no. Or I guess one thing I've learned, not the one thing I've learned. You never bet against Cameron. All right. Just when you think the chips have been cast, the dice has been cast,
thrown.
He comes out on top. All right. Look at Titanic. Look at fucking Avatar. Who would have fucking thought that Avatar would be the highest grossing film of all time, Maggie? Of all time. Billions. Like, more than Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's close enough to be like $4 billion now. Like, you could round up to $4 billion. But I actually really liked it. I own the special edition that has like it's like a fold out case and stuff. And there's like an extended version that's like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It shows Jake Sully. Don't laugh. I knew as soon as I said his name, you were going to think about Elise and
Jake Sully.
God.
Sully.
Go watch. Okay, everybody.
Funhouse.
Go watch Funhouse.
Avatar.
It's fantastic. He doesn't know the true.
He doesn't know the true.
It shows Jake Sully on Earth, and like Earth is all shitty and stuff. And then I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was a fun romp. It wasn't like the most original story. No, I mean it was very similar, like Pocahontas or Ferngully. It had some of those. And was I a huge fan of the blue people? Not really. But I mean, whatever. They fucked with their tails. So I mean, does that mean he fucked a horse? Maybe he did. I'm just saying. Maybe he did, right? And I watched Clerks 2, and then I watched Jake Sully fuck a horse. So I don't know. Here we are, Maggie. Does he fuck a whale in this one?
Good, man.
The more I talk about this, the more excited I'm getting for Avatar 2, okay?
Wow.
I'll show you the way of water. It's with a tail.
No. God.
So anyway, I don't know. I think
I'm betting against him.
You're betting against him,
even though we're paying money to go watch it.
We are going. Sadly, we are going to watch it.
I'm betting against him.
What is the bet? What are we betting?
Let's see. That he won't break even.
No. I mean, what are we betting? Like,
I'm betting against James Cameron.
I mean, shit, Maggie. I mean, like. Do I get a pizza if you're wrong? Do you get to pick a movie if I'm wrong? Like, what's the
I get
bet?
to pick a movie.
For commentary?
Yeah.
What's the time frame here?
I don't know.
Should we say, do you think January would be too early to say whether it's success or not?
When does it come out? December?
It comes out like the last week, or the second to last week of December. But I feel like within 2 weeks you're going to know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 2 weeks time.
Okay.
And we'll see.
Okay. And you say it has to be a flop, which means it has to make back less than what's the definition of a flop? We saw it on Mr. Sunday Movies.
A
success means they have to double
it. They have to make back what they put into it.
So if they make less than double what this movie costs,
yes,
you get to pick the commentary for January.
Yep.
And now, here's the thing. They have to be on track for that. Because it will take time to reach that amount of money.
I know.
But within 2 weeks, I think we'll have an idea of if it will.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll extend it. We'll extend it until we know. And then we'll do the commentary in February. But, okay. So that's the bet?
That's the bet. We got to shake on it. May the best man win.
That's right. He will.
She will.
Shit. All right, let's get on to the next. Anything else you want to say?
No.
We didn't really even talk about the actual 4 and 5 being canceled. Honestly, if he thinks that he could wrap this story up in the third one, why the fuck don't you just do that?
Yeah, just do it anyways.
Don't extend it out just to extend.
Just do it.
And also, it's really weird that Sigourney Weaver is like playing his kid in this.
Ew.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Sigourney Weaver.
Oh,
like, it's not
no,
the
but
same
that's
character.
weird.
Well, he wanted to bring Sigourney Weaver back, so she plays his kid. I mean, it's all mocap. She's a blue monkey
I know
person.
that. I'm
know?
trying to make sure this. Oh, I'm reading right.
So let's get on to the next story. Speaking of moving on in 3, via Variety, Indiana Jones TV series eyed for Disney Plus. Disney is actively looking to develop an Indiana Jones TV show for Disney Plus. The Mouse House, and you can tell I didn't write this. The Mouse House and Lucasfilm have specifically, sorry, I lost my train of thought there, specifically been bringing up the possibility of a streaming show set in the world of the globe-trotting archaeologist in general meetings with writers of late, sources say. They are still looking for a writer to take on the project, thus no plot details are available, given that it is unknown if a series would serve as a prequel to or spin-off of the film franchise, or if it would tie into the upcoming 5th Indiana Jones film, similar to how Disney has tied its Marvel shows on Disney Plus into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Disney is currently exploring a number of options to keep the franchise going, which could mean a series, new films, or other media, or a combination thereof.
Redo Young Indiana Jones.
That's what I've seen a lot of people say.
Just do it. It's there.
I mean,
90s is crap too, man.
Here's what I'm going to say. Ready,
what?
Everybody? Get ready for the hot tea, okay? Here comes the hot take. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Reboot Indiana Jones.
Oh. How dare you?
I mean, what the hell do you want to do with him? Okay? Like, if Indiana Jones is Harrison Ford's going to die. And I'm sorry. We all know it's true. He's going to die. It's the same reason why I was okay with Solo, because I get it. Harrison Ford was a Han Solo, but like he's not gonna live forever. So what do you want?
It's gorgeous.
Do you want the character, or do you want the actor playing the character? What?
Did I just learn something new today?
What was it?
I'm going to look up something.
What are you looking up? What's the question?
The other dude that's with him in the temple.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
What about him? Jesus.
Get over it, Matt.
You're losing my train of thought here. Who do you think it is? From Doc Ock?
I didn't know that was Doc Ock. I didn't know that. It's been forever since I've watched Raiders.
I don't think I knew that either. I think I was just taking a guess.
Like, I just saw him. He's so young.
Amen.
Wow. That's so crazy.
He had the power of the sun in the palm of his hands, you know.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, I say reboot Indiana Jones. Like, if you're going to keep the franchise going, what?
I know what you can do.
Ah, Jesus. If you're going to keep the franchise going, I feel like you just have to make concessions, and to try and keep tying into these movies, it's just not going to work.
Nope.
It's not going to work.
After so long, it's not going to work. But you know what?
What,
you could bring back a good old Shia LaBeouf.
No. That will not happen. I'm pretty sure he's already said he's not in the new one.
No, it's not happening.
Who's in it? It's that lady from from that show.
Because they were on stage together.
Yes. Oh my God. What is that show called? She's also on Mrs. Mabel, right? Or is that not her?
I think so.
Or the same show creator did both?
Yeah.
Something Mouth?
No. Hold on.
Sorry, guys. We're just not on the.
No.
Our brains aren't there today, apparently.
Oh, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
From,
give me a second.
Fleabag, shit. That's what it is.
I knew it had a funny name. She was also in Broadchurch.
Oh, yeah. I knew that. So she's going to be like the additional character in this, apparently.
Apparently. I can't remember what they said she was going to be to Harrison Ford.
I think they said goddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does this take place in the 70s?
I don't know.
Is Indiana Jones going to be like, you're goddamn hippies?
Is what I'm... if this is true, what Google's saying, but I highly doubt it, that Antonio Banderas is going to be in it, I will have a heart attack on the spot.
I mean, it could be.
Harrison Ford and Antonio Banderas.
What do you think the MacGuffin of the new Indiana Jones movie is going to be? Is it going to be biblical, or is it going to be...
sci-fi?
Yeah.
Sci-fi and biblical?
Oh. Like,
Jesus was an alien.
Where he got that, man? In Prometheus, remember?
But that's not Indiana Jones, man.
Dude, okay, I was listening to the commentary track for Prometheus, or something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a podcast. I don't remember. But they was like, it wasn't him, but Ridley Scott. Like someone was talking to them, and then they were telling what Ridley Scott had told them.
Yeah,
right? And they were like, yeah, in my mind, they come back and he's born on December 25th and he stays around for 30 days and then 30 years and then everybody crucifies him.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, so are you saying these bald-headed dudes like are Jesus? He's like like, what the hell, man? Like, that's crazy. I mean, whatever, maybe. But and that's why they were so pissed in Prometheus and was going to go back to Earth and bomb it because humans killed him. Yeah. Like, they're just super Christian, apparently.
How dare you?
And then in the next one, the Alien Covenant, it was like, they're just people. Remember?
Just regular run of the mill people.
And like that one, the bishop or whatever the hell, the alien that they created in Prometheus just had fucking nothing to do with the actual lineage of Alien. I digress. I like Prometheus. Alien Covenant's the one that ruined everything, and you heard it here first, people. But yeah, so Indiana Jones TV series, whatever. I mean, it was a matter of time. Who would, if you had to recast Indiana Jones, who would it be?
Timothy Chalamet.
That's not the worst thing you could have said. Okay, that's not that bad. I don't think I would pick that.
No,
it would be okay if I said Tom Holland.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Even though Uncharted is Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I know. Mark Wahlberg. Wait! I know. The Rock.
Junior.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Did he die?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, then why did you say
I just know he's just. I don't know how old he is now, but like he's just an old man.
Well, I know back in the day people were saying Chris Pratt, and like I don't think they would do that now.
No.
But like, I mean, I was on that team.
Old Sean Connery is. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that would have been good. But yeah, I mean, a TV series, whatever. I don't care.
Oh, he did pass away.
I thought he did.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
Wow.
COVID.
I don't know.
It probably wasn't COVID. He's smarter than that. Anyway. But yeah, Maggie, anything else you'd like to say about this?
Nope.
All right. Well, then let's get on to the next story. Speaking of not caring, Ash Ketchum, after 25 years, is officially the world champion. That's right, everybody. He did it. He was the very best, like no one ever was. Bum, 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 bum. To catch them was his real test. To train him was their cause. Wait, I think I said that backwards.
No.
I said to train him was their cause. The Pokemon's cause. Think about it. I've actually not watched this. That's playing behind us. But yeah, Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. He has been the protagonist of Pokemon anime for 25 years. And for the first time, he actually won the world championship.
Good job, Ash.
Technically, in the Alola series, he did win that. But that doesn't necessarily count, I guess, because like they didn't have gyms and stuff. And this was actually this was like a world champion.
Yeah.
So it was him versus all the other champions.
Yeah,
from around the world.
And that
including Gary Oak. I'm kidding.
The dude that he's fighting in this scene is the number one trainer at that time. And then when Ash beats him, he is number one.
Look at that. What does it take to be number one?
Beat number one.
2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. But yeah, honestly, we watched a little clip of this. Is this the clip we saw? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So this was no, it's not. No, it's not. I think it actually was before this video started. But there's a clip where Pikachu passes out, and he opens his eyes, and it's like covered in white. And Ash's first Pokemon are there. We're talking about Squirtle from Squirtle Squad, Bulbasaur, the OG Charizard, Pidgeot. Butterfree, fucking Butterfree was there, dude. No. And I cried. I cried so hard. It was great.
And like they were drawn. It looked like the old one. Yeah.
And it was so great.
Because you can tell a big difference in how these are drawn.
Like
They're so digitally drawn and stuff. I thought that was awesome.
Great. And I mean, honestly, Pokemon was a huge thing when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Me. I mean, I know for everybody, but like, that's what made me get a Game Boy. I mean, I'd had the gray brick Game Boy and played like Mario Land, but like this was what got me back into Game Boy.
Yeah.
You know? And I loved watching the anime. And then of course I turned my fucking back on it immediately once Digimon came out because that shit was way better. Angemon, you kidding me here? Devimon, Devimon, Vmon, Skull Greymon, you got Myotismon, you got Gatomon, you got Gatawomon, you got Lady Devimon, you got Podmon. I just want to see how far I could go. Apocalypsemon, you got them all, man. You got them all. I didn't even say Agumon or Patamon or Terriermon. All right, I'm done. So yeah, way to go, Ash. Way to go. Anything you want to say about this? I love it. Glad R2D2 was a big fan.
Yes.
All right. Anything else you want to say? All right. Moving on. This is our last story today. We have just an announcement that Disney Plus shadow dropped a new short from Studio Ghibli about Grogu. That's right, everybody. Baby Yoda was drawn by Studio Ghibli, and it is fun. It was fun. We watched it.
It was cute.
It was cute. Honestly, like, I'm glad they shadow dropped it. I keep saying shadow dropped. They teased it a little. But like as soon as they announced it was like, and it'll be out in like 4 hours. And everyone's like, yay. I'm glad they did that. Because if we had had time to really think about it, expectations would have been fucking through the roof. And they didn't need to be. Because what we got was fun. It was good. It was a little like celebration of the Grogu's 3rd birthday.
Yeah.
You know, because it had been 3 years since The Mandalorian premiered, which was the first time we saw Baby Yoda. And it was also the day that we found out that we were going to have Viv. So that's Baby Yoda's always kind of tied to that. But yeah, we watched it. I was going to say that we would do a review of it. But it's literally 2.5 minutes long. And so, you know, for us to talk about it longer than the actual thing wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But it was cute. Maggie, what did you think about it?
Oh, that was cute how they involved that. Well, they called them dust bunnies, but it looks like the suit sprats.
From
Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Well, it's been in many things. It's been in My Friend Totoro.
Yeah, Totoro. That's where I know him from.
Spirited Away.
Yeah. Howl's Moving Castle?
No.
Oh, what about Kiki's Delivery Service? Well, fuck, never mind. I guess I don't know.
No.
Was it in the Princess Mononoke? Well, fuck, I guess it's not been in that much.
No. It's in those 2 movies. It's not in Ponyo. I know that.
Ponyo. What a weird movie.
I love that movie. It's
freaked
so cute.
me out. Like, Ponyo kept being like bigger and smaller. And like, it's weird. It just weirded me out, man. That's the thing about Ghibli movies. I love them, but every time I watch them, like, I feel like I'm on drugs. Like, I'm just like, I don't understand what I'm seeing right now. Well, I remember I really wanted to get into Studio Ghibli. And so Maggie was actually the first person to lend me a Studio Ghibli movie. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
I think you told me which ones you wanted to watch, and I just gave you a whole bunch, I think, at first.
There was one you made me watch first, though. He was like, I think it was...
Maybe Kiki?
No, it wasn't Kiki.
No, it was a Castle in the Sky.
It might have been Totoro, because I wanted to watch Totoro.
Yeah, you said, do you have Totoro? And I said, yes, I do. I got those movies because I was part of the Disney Movie Club at that point.
Nice.
And, you know, every time you bought a movie off of there, you got points.
Yeah.
In which you could spend the points on many other things they had on there.
Yeah.
But that's how I got a hold of those. And every now and then they would have a sale on them. And that's why I bought them up like I did.
Why, yeah. Why not?
So that's why I wound up with so many Disney movies when we got married on the...
And I had a bunch too. So I had to kind of condense.
Yeah. But I'd have a subscription to that. And every month you would get whatever was unvaulted or was brand new. And there was a few times I forgot to cancel it. So like I'd wind up with some weird stuff sometimes that I didn't even want.
Send it away. Like you could send it back.
Yeah, but I wound up keeping it anyways. I got Mars Needs Moms.
Is that why we have that?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's because I forgot to cancel it for that month, and I was so mad. I was like, ah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I watched Totoro, and then I think you had me watch Castle in the Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that one, like, here's the thing about Studio Ghibli movies, okay? I really like them. I love them. I think they're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're so relaxing.
Yeah, Castle in the Sky, you can. Dude, I used to fall asleep to it every night.
All of them. They lull me to sleep. Like, as soon as, like, I just hear it. Like, Mononoke, Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, he was out.
Dude,
first time we watched it.
Felt bad. And then we got back to it, and, like, with the giant god at the end and shit, I was like, holy fuck, this movie's crazy, man. The only time it doesn't affect me is when we go to the theaters and watch it.
Yeah.
Well, except for Howl's Moving Castle, that one.
And Princess Mononoke was my first Studio Ghibli film I watched as a kid. Because my dad turned it on.
Oh, no.
We had HBO.
I feel like Princess Mononoke might be my favorite.
It's good.
I also like Spirited Away.
Spirited Away was really good.
Yeah. And
really good.
Totoro has a place in my heart just because of how much
adorable.
I love Totoro.
I know.
Oh, you're
I know.
fine.
I'm watching.
I thought I saw it saying something. But Totoro has a special place in my heart. And I would almost suggest, for people that are wanting to try out Ghibli, I would suggest Totoro, because I feel like it's a very light on the weird, or on the like it's very light. The only thing you got is Totoro, but it's really about these kids and their mom is sick and trying to like live with their dad out in the country.
And I would do after Totoro, just to get it a little bit more weird, but it's still chill. Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah, Kiki's
that
good.
one. That one's probably like one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know you love Kiki.
Yes.
And I mean, if you want to get into like if you really like Lord of the Rings
action,
I would say
Princess Mononoke. It's good.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
like I love that movie.
And every one of those films is beautiful. Ponyo is cute. And it is really, really strange.
It's very strange, man. It's so weird.
Howl's Moving Castle is probably one of my other favorites.
I was so confused watching that because, like, she was old, she was young.
It's because there was a curse and she started to learn how to love somebody.
But I mean, like, it just ran. Like, they don't tell you. Here's the thing about Ghibli. All right, they expect you to understand what's going on without them telling you what's going on, and I'm just not smart enough for that.
Oh, also, I found out that Howl's Moving Castle is based off a book, and I bought the whole book series. There's 3 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is the whole series condensed into the movie?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No, there's more. Like, at the end of the trilogy, Sophie and Hal and their children get turned into something, and it's left up to, I can't remember who it was, to bring them back in their human form.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets really weird. I could understand why they didn't go that route.
Well, Ghibli usually doesn't make sequels.
No.
Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, the Grogu special is out. It's literally 3 minutes. I say give it a shot. Just it is. It's just very nothing. Like there's not really anything to talk about. Like it's great. It's like cute. They were like, hey, we'd love for you to do something to commemorate Grogu's birthday, and they did, and it was great.
Yeah,
like but I mean, it's not canon or anything. I mean, it's not even. There's nothing in it that could be canon. It's just it's nothing. Okay.
Yeah,
but it's good. So there you go. I don't know what else to say. So instead, I'll say let's hear a word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/hopefullyawesome.
That's right. At the $5 tier, you can have access to every episode we make ad-free and have your name listed in the credits of every video. At $10, you'll be able to get access to our all-new exclusive shows right here on patreon.com/hopefullyawesome. Those include Hopefully Weekly, a weekly show where Maggie and I catch up on all the things that's happened over the past week, both in our life and in the world around us. Family Game Night, a weekly show where Maggie and I will play a variety of board games, from Blockbuster Party Game all the way to Fast and the Furious Heist Game, whatever that is.
Highway Heist.
the Hopefully Awesome movie commentary that we'll do once a month, where Maggie and I will watch one of our favorite films and then record us talking about it over it. Kind of like a mix between Mystery Science Theater 3000 and, just us goofing off and talking about nothing related to the film. And lastly, Matt plus Maggie. This is our monthly show where Maggie and I talk about our relationship. I don't think we'll be giving any advice, but hey, tune in. It'll be fun. And if you want to go above and beyond at the $25 level, not only do you get everything that we've just talked about, but you also get a verbal shout out as our Patreon producer of the entire month. All this and more.
So sign up at patreon.com/hopefullyawesome today.
And we're back. Thank you for that word, Matt and Maggie. So now we're going to move into our main topic. It's time for the main topic. So this week we watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That's right, everybody. So we're going to do a little review. If this is your first time watching us, we will begin with a spoiler-free portion of our review, and then we'll move into the spoiler section of our review. If you would like to skip that, be sure you stick around afterwards, where we will then add Black Panther Wakanda Forever to our ranking, both for the season and for the MCU updated list. Mm-hmm. So we will be sure and have time codes in the description below. And there will also be the sound to let you know, hey, we're going into spoilers. So be sure we will let you know when spoilers are happening. So, all that being said, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Came out this weekend. Me and Maggie went to the early Thursday showing, where we were surprised to find not a lot of people in our theater, which is always nice. I love walking in there and just nobody being there. It's great. And we sat down to watch Black Panther, and going into this, I was in a weird state. Like, I was excited, but I was also, I didn't really know. I didn't have any expectations, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like, I was excited just to be seeing, I loved the first Black Panther.
Yeah.
And I was very curious to see how they were going to handle it. I figured it would be emotional because of the loss of Chadwick Boseman, of course. So I figured I'd probably cry several times, and I did. But I didn't really know story-wise what we were going to get. Like, because I honestly still didn't know who the new Black Panther would be. There was obviously some very easy guesses that you could have. Of course, we're not going to mention right now. But, I didn't really know how they were going to handle that, how they were going to handle Namor. I was very curious to see how all that played out. So going in, that's kind of where my head was at. And then we started watching it. And, Maggie, where was your head at going into it?
I was looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to how Namor would look and stuff.
Or how they would update a story.
Yeah, and how they would handle, Chadwick Boseman's passing, how they would handle all that. And this is a really beautiful film, too.
It was. Gosh, it was very beautiful.
But yeah, that's all we can say.
Yeah. And honestly, it's going to be hard to not talk spoilers, so this section will probably be pretty short, just because of how secretive this movie has been. I feel like it's been even more secretive than previous Marvel movies. But I will say I wasn't as hyped as I have been for previous movies. I'm trying to think, like, I was probably more hyped for Thor: Love and Thunder. Multiverse of Madness I was probably more hyped for. I think I just knew that this one was going to be different, and that it was going to be more emotional than, oh God, what could happen? I expected this to not really have too large of an impact overall on the MCU. That's usually where a lot of my hype comes from, is just where's the future of the MCU going. So that being said, and I've been wrestling with how I really feel about this movie. I feel like when we walked out of the theater and we were driving to go back home, I looked over at Maggie and I said, I feel pretty mid on this. And I feel like that's not the best way to explain how I'm feeling. like, okay, I'll start with a few negatives. So I love long movies. I'm totally fine with it being 3.5, 4 hours. I don't care. Whatever, as long as it's good, right?
Yeah.
This movie was 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is fine. The only thing is that I feel like some of the sub stories ultimately had no impact on the movie itself. Like, there's one character that we follow throughout the movie. And again, I'm staying spoiler free, but as you watch it, you'll pick up on who I'm talking about. And literally, you remove this character's all their scenes has no impact. Mm-hmm. Like, the movie would be the exact same. And I would say that made up at least 15 minutes of the movie, at least. So, I mean, you could take that out, and now we're down to, 225,
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like they were a bit, they lingered a bit on things. The stuff that was necessary to linger on, like, of course, anytime they were dealing with the grief or the characters dealing with the loss, or trying to find themselves, like especially with Angela Bassett's character, all of that was powerful and beautiful and heartbreaking and just wonderful, right? But then there was this whole other piece of the Namor stuff and how that plays into the overall story, and it just felt disconnected. Right? Like, I know where the movie ends, and again, I'm not getting into spoilers. I'm aware enough to not get into spoilers. I feel like where the movie ends doesn't necessarily feel that was necessary. And I know there's an argument against that. When we get into spoilers, I'll even say the argument against that. But I just feel like with what the story was about grief, right? And about dealing with loss, I just felt like the A plot of Namor just really didn't congeal with that, like, I didn't feel that from his side. Not really. I mean, there were some things, that they talk about that kind of lead into that, but I feel like the characters were coming from two totally different angles, and it just made it didn't feel like the story, for a story that's supposed to be having such a large impact on feelings of grief, like dealing with high emotions, right? This isn't just a standard Marvel movie. Like, we're actually trying to have a message with this, right? I feel like you really want those stories to interweave in a way that when it ends, it all comes together. And you're like, okay, I didn't see how this could actually impact the whole, but now that we're here, like, I get it. And I get what they're trying to say about Namor and his people, right? And I don't feel like we got that. To me, it felt like, and I really don't want to be this guy. But like, this was an impossible task for anybody. Okay. And I don't think anybody could have made a better movie than what they did in the time that they did. So I really think that this is the best that they could have done. But that being said, to me, it was obvious this was not the story that they set out to tell. And it was more the story that had to be created out of the tragic loss of Chadwick Boseman. And I get that, and I applaud them for trying. I feel that maybe it would have been in everybody's best interest to push back, right? To pull back. And to just give this time and to just really figure out what do we want to do. Because I feel like the Namor stuff was probably in there from the beginning. Like, that was always, I feel like that was always going to be the story. And so then you have to completely redo this whole Chadwick Boseman storyline of him being the Black Panther. And like, when you lose that character. Yeah. Because there's even stuff they talk about with Namor that builds off of things that happened in the first Black Panther. And I feel like if you have T'Challa, if you have him there, all of that starts making a lot more sense, right? Yeah. And he's the king now of Wakanda, and like Namor is the king of his people, and like now we start seeing how that story comes together, right? Yeah. But because of how the story has to go now, I just feel like it doesn't connect the way that would have, which sucks because I know they wanted it to, and I know that this movie is important beyond just what the story is, right? Like it has importance in the world, like in our actual world. This movie is important, not just for Chadwick Boseman, not just for the entire community dealing with the loss of him, but I mean, like it has a lot. Black Panther means something to people in the times that we live in, right?
Yeah,
rightfully so. And so I get why they wouldn't want to delay, and I get why. I get why they did it, but still, I felt that, unfortunately, that had an impact on the movie.
Yeah.
And the storytelling they were going for. And then, I feel like there's some characters in the movie that are kind of bland a little bit. I don't want to say, okay, this isn't a spoiler, okay? If you've seen the poster, if you've seen the previews, you know that Shuri is one of the main characters.
Okay?
Yeah. Like the movie begins with Shuri, right? And then one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the whole movie. And she's great. She's great in that. And obviously her character is dealing with loss, losing her brother. And then, I get that. But at times it felt like she was a bit lacking in just character. And like, don't get me wrong. I know, like when you deal with loss, like you can be just empty and blank, right? But like her character is a complete, it does not feel like the same character from the first movie. And not because she's now dealing with the tragedy of losing her brother, but like dealing with, like, it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like it's just a completely different character. It almost feels like she has to pick up on some of the traits that T'Challa had of, being more reserved, because in order to tell the story, they wanted her to be more like him, right? And like, that's just not her character. Her character was very vocal, fun. And I get the funness being dialed down because of the loss of her brother. I get that. Believe me, I've had loss. Okay. I completely understand that. It just felt like they changed her character into what they needed to be able to tell the story that they had already wrote, as opposed to reworking this entire thing. Like maybe Namor didn't need to be in the movie at all. I mean, I don't know. In a post Chadwick Boseman era, like what should this movie have been? And I honestly feel like it was a bit too spread out to really feel that loss. Like if we want to do a movie about losing T'Challa, then let's pull it in some. Like let's bring the family unit together, this core group of people, and let's just deal with them losing him. I mean, fuck, get rid of any bad guy. This doesn't have to end in a battle between two people or anything. Like it can just be, dealing with loss, right? And like it didn't do that. It felt like it wanted to do that, but it didn't. And I don't know, I don't want to say anyone's to blame, but it's just, that's the thing, is that this movie felt like it was at odds with itself. All that being said, I really enjoyed it. Like for the most part. And it kind of reminded me of The Winter Soldier, where it was definitely more like geopolitical politics going on. Like that was, I feel like it wasn't nearly as good as Winter Soldier. But I mean, if you're looking for more of the political thriller side of Marvel movies, this, I feel like, leads itself to that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's all I have to say. What do you have to say? That was a lot.
You pretty much
nailed
it. Yeah. For non-spoilers.
Yeah. I mean, how did you feel walking out of it?
I really enjoyed Namor. I'll put that out there. Really liked that.
Yes, he was really good.
I really
the actor, the character.
Yes, good Lord. I'll keep on hitting this. I really, really enjoyed that. like you saying about Shuri, I do feel like, there's high points that, hey, yeah, she's feeling it. She's getting in the groove. And then there's times you see and it's just blank. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. You go from having Shuri and Black Panther and Infinity War.
Calling out Mark Ruffalo for not being smart enough, In a fun way.
Yeah. She was fun. She was lighthearted, and like they completely demolished that. And I understand.
I can hear you crunching.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I had to crunch them. They were really small. I was afraid I was going to choke. I understand going through grief, losing somebody. It is hard, but it doesn't completely change your personality.
I mean, it can.
It can, but not like that.
I feel like it could have been. Okay. I don't think this is a spoiler. I wouldn't qualify this as a spoiler. If you're hesitant to spoilers at all, maybe just go ahead and skip. But I wouldn't say this is a spoiler. I feel that what's her name? The character's name? I know
Shuri.
I know she becomes Ironheart. Like
Riri.
Comics. Yes, Riri. In this movie, of course, Riri is in this movie. Mm. It's in the trailers. It's in everything. I feel like they try and let Riri be to Shuri what Shuri was to T'Challa. Yeah. And I feel like if there had been more of that, where we could see her bringing that out in Shuri, mm-hmm. and seeing the glimpses of the old Shuri, like that she's finding herself, mm-hmm. And I know with how everything ends up and stuff, I understand that, I'll just leave that at that. Like, I understand where this movie goes. But I feel like if we had just seen those pieces along the way, I know there's an argument for, when she sees certain things that she's not seen before, that you could, see that as that. But honestly, it still just felt so distilled,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that could have helped just to see those sparks of the old Shuri.
Yeah.
And at least help us kind of identify with her more, and like I've been there. I've felt what she's felt.
Yeah.
And like feeling like you've lost yourself. Yeah. Right. And trying to fight through that. And like letting those sparks of life come back. Mm-hmm. Like, I just feel like it could have made her a bit more someone you could connect
relatable.
with. Yeah. Relatable. Thank you. But yeah, before we get into spoilers, Angela Bassett fucking kicked so much ass in this. Holy shit.
Angela Bassett.
She needs to be an Oscar nominee for sure. If she's not even nominated, it's a travesty.
Yes.
Like, she is, I have never felt more like hit right in the fucking heart than when she's talking about her loss.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Some odd choices were made during the movie about her. Mm-hmm. But like, her acting, it's in and of itself.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. I don't think there's not a spoiler. I could have used a bit more M'Baku.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
He just wasn't in it that much. And like, I just feel like that could have been a character, like, especially in the marketing. I feel like he's in like all of it. But like, you're fine. But like, he's just not in it that much. Mm-hmm. Like, we get way more of different characters.
Yeah.
And there's one thing in this movie that just looks fucking terrible. Like, it looks awful.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll tell you in spoilers, but my God, is just the ugliest looking thing I've ever seen. Holy shit. Reminds me of Hellboy. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. I'll tell you more in spoilers. But speaking of spoilers, Maggie, anything else you'd like to say before we jump in?
No.
All right, let's get into spoiling this. Remember, if you would like to hear where we rank this in the MCU and in our seasonal list, be sure and check the timestamps below so that you can see where it ranks. There will be no spoilers in that section. But for now, we're getting into the spoilers. Spoilers. The suit. The Midnight Angel suit.
Yeah.
Barf. What the hell is that?
I'll be honest, I completely forgot about that. I thought you was talking about the boat.
The boat?
Yeah.
I mean, the boat is stupid too.
Yeah.
Like,
looked like Noah's Ark on steroids.
Yeah, like, what why was that designed that way? You know, like, I don't know. That whole thing was just, you know. So I've heard some people talking shit about the Ironheart outfit, the Mark II. I thought it was fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, it looked a bit, I don't know, like a Pokemon a little bit. But I mean,
yeah, they did make the back a little bit wild.
But I mean, it was good. Like,
it was good,
and her character was fantastic. Yeah. Also, no, the thing about Angela Bassett's character, two things that I didn't really like was one when she called out. Oh man, I'm gonna have to bring up the cast because I cannot remember anybody's name. She was Michonne on Walking Dead.
Oh, I can't remember her name.
You're fine. I got it. I got it pulled up here. Okay. Not Namora. No, that's definitely not Namora. Okoye.
Okoye,
yeah. Yeah, Okoye. Angela Bassett firing her.
Yeah.
That just felt incorrect to me. It felt like they knew that they wanted her to become the Midnight Angel.
Yeah.
And so they were like, well, we have to get her out of here somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what they chose. Like, and don't get me wrong, I believed Angela Bassett's acting in it.
Yes.
But it just felt like, plot-wise, it didn't make any sense to me.
No, it didn't.
I just felt like she wouldn't have been that harsh to her. I feel like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading it. But, I mean, Okoye was treated as, like, one of the family in this, especially after seeing her in Endgame and stuff. And, like, or even in Infinity War.
Yeah.
And I mean, the first Black Panther, you know, I know she stands with Michael B. Jordan's character, but, you know, still, it just, I don't know, it just hit me wrong.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, she throws that back up in her face, too.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, I didn't feel that. I just didn't feel that was accurate. And then her dying. What the fuck? What was the point of that? Yeah. Like, really? Did we need to kill off Angela Bassett? Like, again, I feel like this movie was about Chadwick Boseman being a king. Mm-hmm. Him making the choice to release, you know, to show everybody that Wakanda exists. And then that causing Namor's people danger, right? Mm-hmm. And it would have been about two kings having to have this conflict, right? And I feel that maybe even his mom dies because of it, right? And now he sees that it's his fault. Yeah. And I believe Shuri probably was still even taken. Like, that she was probably even still there because that felt like it belonged. Yeah. But I feel like they just they combined Shuri and T'Challa's character into one, and was like, well, she's gonna kind of fall in love with him, but then he's gonna kill her mom, and then you know, she's gonna be pissed off and go to war, but then choose to give mercy. Yeah. Like T'Challa would have done. Mm-hmm. You know. So I just feel like that you know, that makes more sense. Yeah. And like, I just feel like they could have maybe rewrote a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any other spoilers. It was really cool. Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. Popped back up.
And the ancestral
That was weird. That was an interesting way to do that.
Because like I told you on the way to the movie, I said, oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan was on the red carpet. Yeah, he had a really cool looking yellow suit on. Yeah. And I was like, but I don't think that means anything. Yeah. I don't think he's in the movie. I think he just showed up because he knows Ryan Coogler and all this stuff.
I was trying not to have too much hope for it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted him in it. But
I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping like a crack in the sky and he's from another multiverse. I was like, please.
I was on the fence of whether or not they were going to do that in some way. And can we talk about just the ending of this movie? Like, okay. Is M'Baku trying to be the king now? Because like,
I don't understand that. That's why I'm not going to try to get into it.
Because she's not there.
She's not there.
Obviously, she goes off, you know, and hangs out with Nakia?
Yeah.
And like, you know, that's Nakia.
Yeah.
You know, and that's fine. But like, he says he's going to challenge somebody. Mm-hmm. Like, well, who the fuck is he challenging? Like, I mean, I liked how he was like trying to be big brother for her, you know? Yeah. But I felt like they left things ambiguous enough.
Yeah.
That Shuri could not be the Black Panther in the next one, and they could just write it off.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, and I don't know if that's because of the trouble they had on set with her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but it definitely, I think they chose to not reveal she was the Black Panther for a reason. And I don't think it was for marketing. I think it was because they didn't want to put the weight of this movie on that actress's shoulders.
Yeah.
Even though this whole movie is her movie.
Yeah.
Like, it is her movie. She is the main character.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I do have one gripe.
Okay. Just
you
one.
You went to the bathroom during this part,
yeah.
but when Shuri shows up as Black Panther and I can never say his name, M'Baku's
There you
go. Country, I don't know. I can't think of it. When she shows up, she hops out of the ship and she shows the elders and stuff that, and they're like, hey, did you get the flower? Blah, 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 blah. And like she explains it in a short way. Yeah. And then she's like, I want to talk to M'Baku alone. Yeah. I need everybody out. And they're like, yes, my queen. And everybody leaves. And she tells M'Baku, she said, you're going to help me kill Namor. And he said, no. Trying to convince her not to do it. That's not the way of going about it. That's not what your mother would have wanted. Yeah. And he said, your mother would have hoped this for you and this for you. And she says, my mother's dead. She's gone. All of her hopes and dreams went with her. I'm here now, and I want to kill him, and you're going to help me kill Namor.
Sure.
Okay. So, fast forward to the battle, and M'Baku's on the ship, but she's over there on the island.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. She told M'Baku, you're going to help me kill him. And M'Baku's nowhere nearby.
Right. Like, it has
yeah. I'm like, what was the point? Like, I understand showing up to show the elders that, hey, yeah, this is real now. But like, what was the point of threatening M'Baku? Yeah. I felt bad for him. I was like,
he didn't really have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And I didn't, kind of going back to the boat, like, I don't know. I just don't understand, like
ratios.
The whole thing was like, why would you if you're going to make a place that you all can fight on the water, why would you shape it like this first off? Like, I would think maybe water. Yeah. So there's more space to
fight.
Yeah. And not just be fucking tossed off by the water people,
yes.
And like the battle itself was kind of crappy. Like, I mean, it was cool when they like all jumped on the side of the boat and stuff. That was cool. And then that was pretty much it. That was like the only cool thing, I mean, especially when you compare it to the first one where they had like the fucking rhinos and shit. Like that was rad. Like the blankets that were shields and stuff. Or even in Infinity War. Yeah. And then like, when they're like, hey, we made peace. And she's like, Wakanda Forever. And like 12 people were like, yeah. Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, a handful of people.
And it wasn't as like, like it wasn't the thing that they thought it was going to be. No. And like, but none of the main people died, obviously.
No. The part that you said that you could take out of the movie entirely, that was 15 minutes long.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah. Nothing. It did nothing. There was nothing that was in his scenes that could have done anything.
They could have just left it as a cameo, like you said in the car.
They could have ended with him showing them, telling them about Riri, and that was it. And that would have been great. But then they were like, we need to put Val in here too,
spice things up and find out that they used to be married.
And like,
who cares?
Yeah, even if they led that up to a cameo from Harrison Ford as the new General Ross, like, okay, that would almost make it more worth it. But instead, it's just,
yeah,
like nothing happens. Like, and what does the government do about anything that they just they found out about?
Yeah,
they don't do anything.
No,
and they chase Riri and them and stuff. Yeah. But like when they go to war with Atlanta, or not Atlanta, it's been renamed to something else.
Yeah,
they don't show up. They're not there. So it's like they literally have no impact on any of the movie. And I love Martin Freeman. I loved him in the first one. I thought it was just super weird that he was in there. Like, of all the movies that have Martin Freeman was Black Panther. But yeah, it unnecessary. And in a movie that was bloated anyway, Like, you could have saved that. You could have, chucked that out. I mean, that could have been in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
That could fit anywhere.
Well, and I told you, I'm like, why go to all that waste? And like, in my mind, I was like, oh gosh, is she going to show up with, she's going to show up with Black Widow? She's going to show up with the weird Captain America guy. Yeah. Like, I can't think of his name.
The one from Russia.
Yeah.
Isn't it the Red Star? Is that his name?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the agent.
Oh, you're talking about agent. U.S. agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, are they going to show up?
Yeah. Somebody, anybody.
Somebody.
Give us a reason for this.
Give us a reason. Yeah. Give us,
Yeah.
Give us a taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. No, they did not.
It didn't matter.
No.
You know what? Okay, here's what I think would have been better.
What?
All right, and probably would have made me happy. This is what you do, okay? You take all the Martin Freeman scenes post cameo, take those, you remove them, okay? Then you stitch them together as one standalone Marvel Disney Plus tie-in, okay? And like, it even cuts 2 scenes from the movie, kind of like The Matrix and The Matrix, Enter the Matrix, where like scenes from the movie crossed over with the game. You just do that. And then you watch that as like a supplemental, almost like a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Okay. Like with Agent Coulson.
Yeah.
Where it shows his drive from Iron Man 2 to Thor.
Yeah.
Like, it's that. It's just that. Yeah. But it's Martin Freeman's character. And like, it cuts away and it shows that shit's happening in Wakanda. So like, you're getting context of, how these scenes are interconnected to it. But like, him talking to the Queen and stuff. And like, you see Angela Bassett is in this. You're like, holy shit, they got Angela Bassett in this.
Yeah.
And like, it makes all of that so much better.
Yes.
But instead, now it's just like, I don't even know if it mattered. It does. I mean, I know it didn't matter, but I don't know if any repercussions any of this will have, except for the fact that Okoye broke him out of jail at the end, which looked very much like Hulk and She-Hulk when the ship came down.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the exact same road. Okay,
it probably was.
Like, I feel like they were going to be like, oh, Martin Freeman, you have a kid on another planet, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to look at these characters and see if any other stuff. Lake Bell, like, what was the purpose of that? I didn't say it in the thing. I should have said this, but I really enjoyed the opening. Like, not the sad part, but the part that was a horror movie. Yeah, that shit was cool. Yeah. Like, I really enjoyed that. Yeah. Okay, so I liked that about Namor. I did not care for like the 20-minute scene. It wasn't 20 minutes of him showing Shuri around. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm getting Avatar fatigue.
Yeah, probably.
Like, it felt very...
But like you were saying, where the script might have been intended for T'Challa, that would have been a king showing another king his kingdom.
I still think that would have been Shuri.
You still think that?
Because I think her having feelings for him was going to play into it. Like, because, I mean, obviously they were setting up an interest there. Yeah. Like, there was very much a love interest being built there. And then I almost feel like maybe Shuri would have been the one to convince T'Challa to show mercy. Like, she would have fulfilled the M'Baku role. Yeah. To T'Challa. T'Challa. But I mean, so I feel like that could have been in there, and maybe they could have leaned more into the romanticness of it, right? Or the romance of it. But I don't know. At the end, it's just like, man, I mean, and like, she's fumbling around that giant fucking suit. It like just looks stupid, okay? Like the big suit she's in, the like going through.
Oh yeah,
the big like fucking space suit. That, she's just going through the water tunnels. Like, I don't know, it just looked goofy as shit.
It took me a second. I'm like, what?
Like,
big
really?
suit?
Come on, Shuri. Like, you haven't made an underwater suit. Like, come on. I mean, Iron Man had that in the first Avengers. Like, come on. Anyway, I don't know. Namor was cool. If maybe a bit forced to be more evil than necessary. Yeah. Like, I feel like they had a good place for him, and then they just kind of kept pushing it until it was like, nah, he wants to conquer Earth.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Why?
And also, he said that he was the first mutant. So.
Yeah, well, he said he's a
no,
mutation.
Yeah.
And then, of course, me and you talked, and like in the MCU, he is the first mutant.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Not bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. I don't think I have much else to say. I'm going to be interested to see where we end up in the list because I'm very curious about that. Yes, it is. So let's move on to the ranking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is end of our spoiler section. Now we will be discussing, before you get to that, now we'll be discussing our ranking for winter 2022 so far. So last week we ended the fall 2022 ranking. You can go back to last week and hear how that all shook out. But now this week with Black Panther Wakanda Forever coming out, that now becomes our first movie of the winter 2022 season. That'll go from November, halfway through November, through December and January. And then spring will be February, March, April. Summer will start in May. So, with that being said, our current ranking so far is nothing. So,
whoops.
By default, Black Panther Wakanda Forever is our new number one.
In my brain, for some weird reason, I thought we already had something.
We talked about starting it last week with whatever we talked about last week. Weird Al. That was what we did last week.
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever. I think I misspelled it. So that is our new ranking going down the list. Number 1, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. All right. Now it's time to get into our MCU ranking. That's right, everybody. It's going to be...
You're going to help me on the... Oh, okay.
And there.
Thanks.
All right. MCU ranking. Of course, we have this up on the screen behind us, and I will try and put it in the actual video feed itself. But our current ranking, starting at number... Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah. Don't worry. Duh.
Instead of you breaking your neck.
Breaking my neck. Oh, gosh. There we go. All right. We're still getting used to the TV, guys.
Okay. You could even do
Nah.
Okay. All right.
New current ranking is number 39, Thor. Number 38, Thor: The Dark World. Number 37, Black Widow. Number 36, What If? Number 35, Iron Man 2. Number 34, The Incredible Hulk. Number 33, Iron Man 3. Number 32, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Number 31, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Number 30, Moon Knight. Number 29, I Am Groot. Number 28, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Number 27, The Eternals. Number 26, Iron Man. Number 25, The Avengers. Number 24, Captain America, The First Avenger. Number 23, Hawkeye. Number 22, Werewolf by Night. Number 21, WandaVision. Number 20, She-Hulk. Number 19, Ant-Man. Number 18, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 17, Captain America, The Winter Soldier. Number 16, Spider-Man, Far From Home. Number 15, Doctor Strange. Number 14, Black Panther. Number 13, Captain Marvel. Number 12, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Number 11, Loki. Number 10, Shang-Chi. Number 9, Thor: Love and Thunder. Number 8, Thor: Ragnarok. Number 7, Ms. Marvel. Number 6, Spider-Man. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 4, Captain America: Civil War. Number 3, Avengers: Infinity War. Number 2, Spider-Man: No Way Home. And number 1, Avengers: Endgame. Maggie, where are you feeling Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
I don't know if you'll laugh or be shocked.
Okay.
I'm thinking behind Eternals.
So above Ant-Man and Wasp?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm thinking lower.
Oh, how low?
I mean, I'm pretty close to that. I would say around Moon Knight. I think probably higher than Moon Knight. Maybe even higher than I'm Groot.
Okay.
If I'm being real.
Okay.
So I'm thinking behind Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I just feel like I got more. I had less complaints about the rest of these.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the Eternals is definitely beginning of like second tier Marvel movies because it's just so well made. Mm-hmm. And then like I would say almost like probably like Shang-Chi. Mm-hmm. Nah, let's say Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Like I think Multiverse of Madness through Eternals is like second tier Marvel, and then the rest of these are like bottom tier.
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'm thinking. I'm thinking after Ant-Man and Wasp.
Okay. That'll be your new 29.
New number 29. You think so? Mm-hmm. Like, you good? Or do you think I'm Groot should be a
No. I agree.
Okay. All right. Our new ranking. Do you want to
starting at number 1? Or
yes.
Okay.
Or well, okay. I do want to have a longer conversation.
Okay.
But so we can just leave this, and because I don't think it'll change our mind, but it might. Okay. I wanted us to have a conversation about Phase 4 because this is the last movie in Phase 4. Mm-hmm. So obviously we still got the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, but I feel like that's more of a precursor to Phase 5 than as opposed to like the final nail for Phase 4.
Yeah.
So in Phase 4, let me see, we had, actually, you know what? Let me bring up the list of releases because I'm not sure, like the order of them. Mm-hmm. Marvel. Actually, while I'm doing that, let's go ahead and lock it in.
Okay.
You go ahead and
all right. At number 1, we have Avengers Endgame. Number 2, Spider-Man No Way Home. Number 3, Avengers Infinity War. Number 4, Captain America Civil War. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 6, Spider-Man Homecoming. Number 7, Miss Marvel. Number 8, Thor Ragnarok. Number 9, Thor Love and Thunder. Number 10, Shang-Chi. Number 11, Loki. Number 12, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Number 13, Captain Marvel. Number 14, Black Panther. Number 15, Doctor Strange. Number 16, Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 17, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Number 18, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 19, Ant-Man. Number 20, She-Hulk. Number 21, WandaVision. Number 22, Werewolf by Night. Number 23, Hawkeye. Number 24, Captain America. Okay, sorry. Number 25, Avengers. I thought I already said the first Avenger, but I said Winter Soldier. Number 25, Avengers. Number 26, Iron Man. Number 27, Eternals. Number 28, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Number 29, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Number 30, I Am Groot. Number 31, Moon Knight. Number 32, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Number 33, Avengers The Age of Ultron. Number 34, Iron Man 3. Number 35, The Incredible Hulk. Number 36, Iron Man 2. Number 37, What If. Number 38, Black Widow. Number 39, Thor The Dark World. And number 40, Thor.
That is a lot. Can you believe nobody has a single list of the film and shows for Phase 4 in one list? Like they have them separated. And
wow.
it's pissing me off. So we're going to have to go back and forth on these. Because I want us to have a clear idea of what came out when, in what order, and how I feel about Phase 4 overall. Because I feel like this is kind of the end of Phase 4. So, and I'm going to kind of be going back and forth on these. The first release was WandaVision, released on January 15th. Then The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, released on March 19th. Loki, released on June 9th. 2021 for all these, by the way. Black Widow, released on July 9th. What If, released on August 11th. Shang-Chi, released on September 3rd. Then followed up by The Eternals on November 5th. Hawkeye was released on November 24th, followed by Spider-Man No Way Home on December 17th. Moon Knight, released on March 30th, followed by Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on May 6th. Followed by Miss Marvel on June 8th. Followed by Thor Love and Thunder on July 8th. Then She-Hulk Attorney at Law on August 18th. And we wrapped the whole thing up with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I skipped over
Werewolf
by Night. Yeah. Werewolf by Night. It's not listed on here. And then Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So, Phase 4. I think one word to describe Phase 4 would be random.
COVID.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's probably better.
That's the word I can
that's
think
a better.
of.
Like, you know, I guess Phase 4 should at best be compared to Phase 1. Right. Now, granted, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 properties in Phase 4, which was over the course of 2 years. 16 things came out.
Sorry.
Oh, and I'm Groot's not even on here.
Oh, that was what? End of summer?
Yeah. I think I Am Groot and then Werewolf by Night. So it's like She-Hulk, I Am Groot, Werewolf by Night, and then Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And so, like, you know, the first phase had 5, I think, or 6. So, like, you know, it really is apples to oranges. But, like, you know, that felt very specific. We're setting up the Avengers. The goal of this is to get to the Avengers, right? We have all these characters. And, like, there's going to be little things that link each one. You know, the Tesseract, you know, the Shield, you know, whatever. Like, all these things are going to kind of intermix, right? And then we get to Avengers, and it all comes together. This, honestly, short of Val, that is the only thing that I'm looking at that I can see that really tied into anything between these.
Yeah.
I'm again, you could say the Black Widow tied in to Hawkeye, but again, that's because of Val.
Yeah.
You know, and then Val had an impact on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Val is in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Spider-Man No Way Home kind of impacted Doctor Strange, but, like, not really. I mean, it was just like a one line of dialogue, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, What If obviously didn't matter. Spider-Man kind of impacted Ms. Marvel because it was that same character.
Yeah.
From the Thing. Yeah, so it just feels so... This is the first time I feel like they didn't have a plan. Or if they did have a plan, it was thrown out when they went on to COVID and stuff. Like, I feel like Phase 5 and 6, I'm hoping, has a much cleaner idea of what it's going for.
Yeah.
But I mean, ending with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I don't have any more understanding
of where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you could argue multiverse. You could argue that, and I believe that, sure. But that's in 3 of the projects.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I guess so that people don't get mad. WandaVision does tie into Multiverse of Madness, so there is a tie there. But for our first era with the Disney Plus shows, it felt more like, as opposed to having all of these webs going together, it felt like this will play off here. This will play off here. This will play off here. Like, it felt like one affected one, as opposed to one affecting all.
Yeah.
Right? Like, WandaVision will wrap up in Multiverse of Madness. Falcon and Winter Soldier Black Widow will play off in Falcon and Winter Soldier and in Hawkeye. And in Black Panther to a degree. You know, I don't even know if I would say Moon Knight played off anywhere. You know, so it felt like more like these things were having like one-to-one impact, and like there wasn't really a huge overarching thought. I mean, that we definitely didn't wrap this together at the end. And I mean, honestly, it feels like Phase 4 it shouldn't even be called Phase 4. Like, right now, the phases should just no longer exist. Like, this should still be considered, you know. This is like, okay, this Phase 4 is like when a comic book franchise, right, has a huge event, right? We do Crisis on Infinite Earths, or even, let's say, Infinite Crisis. And then, in a year from now, you know, once that's done, that's been going for a year, right? Then we have an off year. And then the next year, there's going to be the next one, right? Blackest Night, right? And in between those two, you've got a year of stories that can't really do anything because they can't upset the status quo enough until the next one. So we're just kind of dealing with the ramifications of what happened in the big event. And maybe there's some slight hints at the upcoming event, but really we're not going to change too much because that event's already being planned And if we fuck up the characters too much in their ongoing stories, then by the time we get to the event, it won't match where we are, right? And that's what this feels like. This feels like we're doing a lot of setup for future stories.
Yeah.
But to the detriment of our current story. Because right now, there's nothing. Like Thor Love and Thunder, the biggest impact, Thor, this is, maybe I shouldn't say some of this stuff. I forgot we were not in spoilers anymore. Yeah. Crap, have I spoiled anything about Black Panther?
No, you haven't.
Okay. Well, I'll pull back a little bit. Because I forgot we're not in spoilers. Yeah. I think that's pretty much what I was trying to say. It was just, It just feels like just not, like we're kind of in a holding phase until we can figure out where we're going. We're going to release these because we need money, not because we're trying to drive the story further. We're just going to release them. And then once we know where we're going, we haven't done anything to really progress anything. And so, we'll just kind of let these play out. And then once we know where we're going, we'll start injecting that in the stories. Like with Quantumania, where they're like, oh, okay, well, we know what we're going to do now. We're going to do King. Yeah. So, where else can we fit King in? Oh, how about Loki? Yeah. Like we can, and we'll hint towards it in Loki, right? And multiverse stuff. But Quantumania is really going to kick off, it's going to be the thing that really leads to, the next big thing. Kind of like how Thanos was in the first Guardians, right? Like that, I feel like that's Kang and Quantumania. But I really feel like they were just kind of trying to let these come out and not affect much. And because it doesn't feel like the story moved forward at all, it feels like it wasn't important. And which sucks because I really enjoyed a lot of these. I mean,
yeah, I did too.
You look at the top of our list here. A lot of these were from this. We have Spider-Man No Way Home, Miss Marvel, Thor Love and Thunder, Shang-Chi, and Loki, and Multiverse of Madness all in the top 12. Yeah. The only one that was like bottom tier for us was, we had a couple, I guess, Black Widow and Moon Knight. But Eternals, Hawkeye, Werewolf by Night. She-Hulk, for God's sakes. I really liked them, but it just feels right now like it's not really going anywhere. And I'm sure, these will play up later and will matter. Yeah. I'm certain of that. But like Iron Man was still Iron Man. When you watched Iron Man, you knew it mattered while watching it. Yeah. It didn't matter more in retrospect. Yeah. Iron Man 2, there were some things that mattered more in retrospect. But, especially after watching Winter Soldier and realizing, some of these people are Hydra. God, Hydra just feels like a billion years ago at this point, So, but while you're watching Iron Man, and you see Nick Fury come out and stuff, it mattered, in the moment it mattered. Yeah. And just none of these, some of these just don't feel that way.
Well, if you think about, Monica Rambeau in WandaVision and how she gets her powers. And then you see Miss Marvel and that Miss Marvel loves Captain Marvel. She's obsessed with her. And then at the end of Miss Marvel, well, can I say?
Yeah. 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 We're spoiling everything in the MCU except for Black Panther.
And at the end of Miss Marvel, her Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel switch places. Yeah, yeah. And those little tidbits are going to help the Marvels movie. Right.
But is that more of the one-to-one impact as opposed to an overall impact?
It's not really a spider web. It's more like a really complicated family tree.
Yeah. Over here, we've got the Marvels. Over here, we've got the magic. Over here, we've got the space. And over here, we've got the political Captain America, Black Panther stuff. Yeah. And it's just... I don't like that. I know, the web is so big, you have to do that. Yeah. But, Yeah. I miss the days
It's one of those complicated, there's a question.
Yeah.
And if you answer yes or no, you go down this path.
Yeah,
and then like it leads into more things. That's what's happened with Phase 4. It's like, oh, this thing could be connected to this thing maybe. And like there's no flow to it.
Yeah. Well, like I was talking to somebody at work a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "Man, I don't know if I'm gonna get to go watch Wakanda Forever. I'm so far behind." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Well, I haven't watched anything since Multiverse of Madness. So like, I haven't watched Ms. Marvel. I haven't watched She-Hulk. I didn't even watch Moon Knight when it was on. I haven't watched Thor: Love and Thunder." And I was like, "Yeah, I think you'll be okay though."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, with Marvel, you have to watch all the stuff or else you're going to be lost." And I was like, "Not with Phase 4. Like, I mean, it really doesn't, like, all those things I just listed have no impact on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I would argue not many, like, short of Wanda being in Multiverse of Madness. I think that's the only one that's like the most necessary.
That's the only one stands out in my mind because of a coworker of mine, because she said, "I didn't get to watch WandaVision. My husband did." And I was like,
that one you're going to be lost on.
I was like, well, no wonder you didn't know what was going on.
Like, and like, I guess technically if you watched Hawkeye without watching Black Widow, you could be a little lost there. But I mean, like, you're not going to be lost if you just turn on the Eternals. You're not going to be lost if you turn on Shang-Chi, Love and Thunder, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, none of these are really impacting each other, I mean, even Val being in Falcon and Winter Soldier, like, that doesn't really matter, So, I mean, I feel like we have more standalone stuff this phase than any. And, like, when you look at it, we're missing a lot of the big names. Like, I mean, yeah, we had Spider-Man, but, like, and we got Black Panther, and we got Doctor Strange. We didn't get a Guardians. We didn't get an Iron Man. We didn't get a Captain America. We didn't get an Ant-Man. We didn't get a Guardians. Did I say Guardians already? I think I said it twice.
Maybe.
Like all the heavy hitters. I mean, we got Hulk kind of.
Yeah.
And we got Captain America kind of.
Yeah.
But again, those are Disney Plus shows. Like, you look at just the box office stuff. I mean, listen to these names, okay? These are just the names of the movies here. Black Widow, which one could argue big name or not, right? Shang-Chi, definitely not a huge name when it came out. Eternals, not a big name. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black Panther. Like, they finally got 4,
the big ones, yeah.
But that is 4 within what I count last 16 projects. There was 4 of the big names that had movies, you know? And I mean, you could even argue Doctor Strange isn't a big name, I mean, not really. I mean, he is to us, but like, comparatively speaking, like Iron Man 3 brought in $1 billion. Civil War was fucking huge as a Captain America movie. Yeah. And I mean, Doctor Strange just had his one movie. Granted, Infinity War and Endgame, So I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm just going around in circles, but I'm just saying that this phase it really felt like they were in a holding pattern and trying to not mess anything up too bad before they decided on what they were actually wanting to do, Yeah. But I am excited for Phase 5. And I think we'll kick that off with Guardians Holiday Special. But yeah, so when we talk about Guardians, we will no longer be talking about Phase 4.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
And we probably won't have that big of a conversation about Phase 5 with Guardians. Like, probably Quantum Mania will be the first time we really dive deep into Phase 5. But yeah, it just sucks. Coming out of Phase 3, which was like the best of Marvel, and it was just banger after banger after banger, to come out with Phase 4 after that. And to start off super strong with WandaVision, but it felt like I don't know if it really got back to that cultural phenomenon. Yeah. Like, I liked a lot of things more. I mean, I guess Spider-Man No Way Home obviously captured that. But like, and I loved Miss Marvel more, but I wouldn't say it set the world on fire like WandaVision did. Was that because they had a huge boner with Ralph Boner? Does that cause everybody to be less impactful? Maybe. A boner is what they also call mistakes. So that they had a boner.
Oh yeah, and also I think Ralph Boner really hurt you. So
I honestly, I think it left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Mm-hmm. But I like it. I like what you're doing right now. That's it. That's it, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for the show today. We hope you enjoyed this. Let us know. Am I way off base with my thoughts on Phase 4? Did you have any thought? I kind of talked a lot, and then I didn't give you a chance to really.
No, it's okay.
But you said what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
You feeling similar about Phase 4?
Mm-hmm. It's everywhere.
Yeah. And I feel like we peaked, and then like we had a couple of spikes with, Spider-Man, but then like it's just been pretty much downhill the whole time. Which sucks. I mean, Endgame was like the best, you know? Anyway. But that's going to wrap it up for us, everyone. Remember, you can follow us at Twitter, as long as it still exists, and also on other platforms such as TikTok and Instagram. You can also, if you'd like to get the show ad-free and early, I might add, it does go up early, video and audio versions, you can head over to patreon.com/hopefullyawesome, where you can get this show ad-free and early, as well as other exclusive shows like our monthly commentary track, our weekly, Hopefully Awesome Weekly, where we check in with one another, and a few other things. Just go over there and check it out, because I think you'll like it. But that is going to wrap it up for us this week. We will see you next week when we discuss something. I think maybe the Santa Clauses comes out next week. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll recap the Thanksgiving parade or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe a balloon gets taken away like Barney back in '94, baby.
Dude, should we just do a special video of us like having the parade playing behind us?
Can we dress up as like newscasters?
And like we're commentating
yes.
on the parade? Sure. I don't know if it'll get any views, but fuck it. That'd be fun. We could totally do that. That'd be hilarious. We should do that. Okay. And like I could even like make us small, you know. That'd be hilarious. Oh my god, we should do that. All right, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you for watching. And as always,
have a hopefully awesome day, Disney Channel.
Bye.